Advances in human technology are everywhere and continue to impact humanity, pushing forward the limitless potential of what we can create. Technology has reshaped ideas, provided tools, and has allowed imagination to transform into reality by integrating innovations towards producing something profound. One aspect of the human experience that has been greatly impacted by the advent of furthering new technology is in the art of music. From the way music is made to the way we appreciate and experience organized sound, the creative and technical impact of technology to music is nothing but revolutionary. In this video, we're taking a look at the amazing ways technology has influenced music. Before we jump into it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Techtastic. And don't forget to ring the notification bell for our newest videos. With almost every aspect of musical sound currently shaped by technology in one form or another, technology has profoundly influenced not only the music industry, but the art of music in general. From the technical placement of recording gear in studios, to sound reinforcement in concert halls, to the broadcasting aspect of music material, and even in the design and construction of musical instruments, technology has been crucial to be appreciated from creators to consumers. Music and tech's early history. The aspect of technology's impact goes farther than the current manner of usage we often use or disregard. As a common tool of the present, where we can seemingly listen to just about any track we wish with a click of a button or even a simple voice prompt, to many modern-day smart devices, the early history of music tech was much more manual. Back when music was solely a live experience, which was more often acquainted for the upper class, the experience itself was limited to those who could and lasted only while the performance was made in ballrooms or exclusive concert halls. Technology changed all this with the advent of recording when American inventor Thomas Edison, more known for inventing the incandescent light bulb, invented a crude cylinder phonograph in 1877. This led companies in the US and England to manufacture disc recordings of music by the end of the 19th century. The possibility of preserving musical performances by recording utterly changed the social and artistic meanings of music. Half a century later, the invention of the tape recorder allowed speech and sound to not only be reproduced, but also to be altered as well. This furthered techniques that allowed record sounds to be fragmented, combined, distorted, and changed according to the creator's creative aspirations. By manipulating sound and sound qualities, people began to experiment with timescales, bringing forth a multitude of capabilities to the aspect of music production. Nowadays, technology has totally altered music production, and although some artists and purists still prefer the more natural raw sound of live recording, almost everything we hear today has had a touch of technology's magic. Recording technology has indeed gone far from its early beginnings, and quite certainly continues to evolve. One of the biggest early innovations in this aspect was the introduction of groundbreaking multi-track recording, enabling songs to be broken down into sections while recording in just one take, identifying each element one piece at a time, allowing room for creative experimentation and the opportunity to achieve perfection of the actual musical product. The innovation of music through electronic instruments. As changes in music and technology evolve, so do the tools and artists and musicians used in producing music. These tools have allowed artists to break through the creative barriers that limit music from its conventional instruments and traditional melodies to electronic amplifiers and DIY kits made in the basement that produce sound resembling nothing else but what music can be. Instruments and gadgets such as the electric guitar and the effects pedals providing a means of musical expression that, in time, changed the musical landscape completely. Although it may have also taken some convincing for the general populace to shift to more electronic instruments, such as the electric guitar for example, which took a decade before instrumentalists adapted the unconventional instrument. But when it did, it would usher the era of rock and roll and would rise to become one of the most popular instruments to this day. Its supplemental tool will be significant as well. The effects pedals, which push the electric guitar's capability and provide endless sound effects such as reverb, distortion, and chorus to the all-over sound. This added another dimension of sound to music performers and is limited only by the imagination. Much like the way pedals complemented the guitars, the introduction of the synthesizer allowed music to be mimicked and even totally replaced. Furthermore, the innovation of technology improved the bulky and expensive early synths and provided more low-cost alternatives through modular synths. These devices offered new sounds and enabled musicians to write and perform music that would have been impossible to create without the use of synthesizers. Another innovation that changed the way popular music would evolve into was the iconic turntable. What began as a mere playback device would eventually become one of the most recognizable tools in music, allowing unique interpretations and creative expressions by simply interweaving songs using two turntables and a mixer. This led to the era of DJ culture in the 70s that progresses even today with remixes and techniques such as turntable manipulation and scratching, and would eventually innovate further with the integration of more diverse systems that provide further sound production capabilities, such as mix pads that allow added layers to music playbacks, which complemented the CDs, digital turntables, leading to applications and modern DJ software. The turntable in itself was a huge component to one of the most popular genres in the world, hip-hop. This would eventually be a starting point to other popular genres, such as techno, house music, and EDM. Technology also allowed musicians to have access to a host of sounds that would be otherwise impossible and too impractical to achieve when the industry developed the MIDI controller. MIDI, or Musical Instrument Digital Interface, allowed musicians or users to hook up to a computer or another musical device to play multiple electronic instruments simultaneously. In 1983, MIDI-enabled synthesizers became the musical industry standard, added with other devices such as the electronic drum machine, defined different eras and genres of music, and were essentially instruments due to the popularity of their produced sounds. Digital music. During the digital revolution, particularly the rise of digital technology through the mass production and widespread use of personal computers, music also incurred a revolution of its own. The digitalization of music gave artists unmatched freedom and levels of control, with use of numerous programs that allowed musicians to work on recordings anywhere their computers are set up, or as time progressed, wherever they could place their laptops. Computers allowed artists to literally record and make music anywhere and anyhow, even using unorthodox methods, which would further push the industry's boundaries and test the artist and the market itself. Digital workstations such as Logic, Pro Tools, Nuendo, and Ableton have made the recording process easier and cheaper as well. The digital revolution changed the methods and techniques of creating music away from the expensive and cumbersome analog processes, and has given access of music-making capability to practically everyone. The introduction of software and modern electronic gear through the use of a computer system has allowed anyone to create music. Technology even pushed it further with the introduction of iPads and tablets that provide access to music-making applications. Instead of having numerous specialists record your song in a studio, you and just you can create it in the convenience of your room. With all these apps and gadgets, music production now becomes a question of quality instead of technical superiority. Technological technique. Technology and its interaction with music has allowed artists to perfect and apply particular styles with regards to music production. Splicing, which used to be the physical cutting or taping together pieces of recorded tape, is done digitally with greater flexibility and sophistication. This has resulted in a published product that would seem too perfect at times when compared to actual live performances by the artist. This trend towards perfection and recording manipulation would also introduce the technique known as the auto-tune. Far from simple altering of the human voice, producers started using auto-tune to correct off-key vocals. Plenty of songs you've heard over the years have used this without you even knowing it. When used intentionally, auto-tune created quite a fad and continues to be used to provide an undeniably altered yet unique vocal sound. Another technique commonly used in music today is the use of sampling, where a digital recording is used in all manner of appropriation and manipulation and incorporates this into a newer performance or recording. Majority of pop music recordings released today include some sort of sampling, and despite the debate of originality, versioning, and legal loopholes through soundbite distortion, digital technology provides the possibility for all of these. Accessibility. The digitalization of music also moved forward the means of how people access content. From vinyl records and players, to cassette tapes and Walkmans, to CDs and portable CD players, technology has freed us from the physical copies required to listen to our favorite tunes. This has led to streaming websites and apps that consumers now adhere to, basically to the demise of the physical copy industry that existed before it. Artists create music and upload it online, where people stream to enjoy them. This also raised the issue of illegal downloads and piracy that had become prevalent as digital music broadened. Somehow, the music industry has adapted and continues to innovate as fast technology has carried it. Technology will always rapidly change different aspects of our lives. And just as fast, the next upcomer on YouTube would become the next concert star. Innovations continue to affect the possibilities of tomorrow, whether society is prepared for it or not. So what do you think about the amazing ways technology has influenced music? We'd love to hear from you by placing your comments down below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and ring the notification bell for more Techtastic videos.